Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopijana Vallabha Shivarada Gopijana Vallabha Giridharadhari Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Giridharadhari Gopijana Vallabha Giridharadhari Yashodanandana Bhajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Bhajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Giridharadhari Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Giridharadhari Yashodanandana Bhajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Bhajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Sharam Vishnupat Paramahamsa Parivakacharya Satarasatsa Srimati Divine Grace Abhaicharan Avinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Srila Prabhupada is Community Founder Acharya Ki Sharam Vishnupat Paramahamsa Parivakacharya Satarasatsa Srimati Divine Grace Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Sarasvati Goswami Srila Prabhupada Ki Sri Guru Parampara Ki Ananta Koti Vaishnavina Ki All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. We will read this morning from Srimad Bhagavatam, 8th canto, Matsya, the Lord's fish incarnation, text 47. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Narom Cheva Narottanam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiyayat Nastabhesya Bhadresu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Uttamasloke Bhaktir Bhavate Naistike. Chano Budayam Nyakarma Bandhana Sukhet Shaya Karma Samihate Sukam Yat Sevayatam Vidunotya Sanmatim Khatim Sabindya Tridayam Sanogo Chano Buduyam Yakarma Bandhana Sukhe Chaya Karma Samiyate Sukam Yat Sevayatam Vidunotya Sanmatim Kantim Sabindya Tritayam Sanogo Yano Budoyam Yakarma Bandhana Sukhe Chaya Karma Samiyate Sukam Yat Sevayatam Vidunota Sanmatim Yatim Sabindya Tridayam Sanogo Chano Budoyam Nyakarma Bandhana Sukhe Chaya Karma Samiyate Sukam Yasevayatam Vidunota Sanmatim Khatim Sabindya Tritayam Sanogo Chano Budoyam Nyakarma Bandhana Sukhe Chaya Karma Samiyate Sukam Yat Sevayatam Vidunota Sammatim Yatim Sabindya Tridayam Sanogo Chano Budoyam Nyakarma Bandhana Sukhe Chaya Karma Samihate Sukam Yasevayatam Vidunota Sammatim Kantim Sabindya Tridayam Sanogo Chano Budoyam Nyakarma Bandhana Kshaya karma samyate sukham. Yasevayatam vidunota sanmatim. Yatim sabindya tritayam sanuguru. Yano buddhayam niyakarma bandhana. Sukhesha karma samyate sukham. Yasevayatam vidunota sammatim. Yantim sabindya tritayam sanuguru. Jannaha. The conditioned soul subjected to birth and death.
The conditioned soul subjected to birth and death.
Abuddha.
Abuddha.
Most foolish because of accepting the body as the self.
Most foolish because of accepting the body as self.
I am he. Niya karma bandhana. Accepting different bodily forms as a result of sinful activities.
Accepting different bodily forms as a result of sinful activities.
Sukha ichchaya.
Ichchaya.
Desiring to be happy within this material world.
Desiring to be happy within this material world.
Karma.
Karma.
Fruitive activities.
Fruitive activities.
Samyate.
Samihate.
Plans.
Plans.
Asukam. But it is for distress only.
But it is for distress only.
Yatsevaya.
Yatsevaya.
By rendering service unto whom?
By rendering service unto whom?
Tam. The entanglement of karma.
The entanglement of karma.
Vidunoti.
Vidunoti.
Clears up.
Clears up.
Asatmatim.
Asatmatim.
The unclean mentality.
The unclean mentality.
Accepting the body as a self.
Accepting the body as a self.
Kyantim. Heart not.
Heart not.
Saha.
Saha.
His Lordship, the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
His Lordship, the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Bindyat.
India.
Being cut off.
Being cut off.
Hridayam.
Hridayam.
In the core of the heart.
The core of the heart.
Saha.
Saha.
He, the Lord.
He the Lord.
Naha.
Naha.
Or. Guru.
Guru.
The Supreme Spiritual Master.
Supreme Spiritual Master.
Translation and purport by Abhay Charanavinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki. In hopes of becoming happy in this material world, the foolish conditioned soul performs fruitive activities that result only in suffering. But by rendering service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one becomes free from such false desires for happiness. May my Supreme Spiritual Master cut the knot of false desires from the core of my heart. Purport. For material happiness, the conditioned soul involves himself in fruitive activities, which actually put him into material distress. Because the conditioned soul does not know this, he is said to be in avidya or ignorance. Because of false hope for happiness, the conditioned soul becomes involved in various plans for material activity. Here, Maharaj Satyavrata prays that the Lord sever this hard knot of false happiness and thus become his Supreme Spiritual Master. I need to read the verse once again. Yano buduyam yakarma bandhana sukhe chaya karma samihate sukham yatsevayatvam vidunotya sanmatim shantim sabindya tritayam sanoguru. In hopes of becoming happy in this material world, the foolish conditioned soul performs fruitive activities that result only in suffering. But by rendering service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one becomes free from such false desires for happiness. May my Supreme Spiritual Master cut the knot of false desires from the core of my heart. Om Jnanati Brandasya Chinansana Shanaka Saksun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Shri Chaitanya Manopistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Svyamarupakadamayam Dadati Svapadantikam Vandeham Shriyo Shriyuda Padakamalam Shrirum Vaishnavam Shri Rupam Jagajatam Sagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Satvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Saganalita Shri Vishakam Vitam Sha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jgatpate Gopesha Gopka Kanta Radha Kanta Namastate Tapta Kansna Kaula Girati Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhana Sutta Devi Pranamama Hari Priya Vakra Kalpta Visha Kripa Sinabhai Visha Patinam Pavanabhyo Vaishnabhyo Namo Nama Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paskatai Desatai Srila Prabhupada Ki. Bhagavad Gita says, Isans Vasyapuha Dukayonya Evate Atyantavante Kantya Nati Shuramate Buddha. The great sages have concluded that the result of trying to enjoy in this world is suffering. And it's not worthwhile because it is temporary. So who wants to do activities which cause suffering? If you want to enjoy your body and your mind in this world, then you are activating the law of karma. It's not gratis, you have to pay for it with suffering your enjoyment. That even if you are vegetarian, you kill plants and you will be responsible for it. So that's the point. Foolishly, we turned our face away from Krishna and we wanted to be the enjoyer. And that's our foolishness. That it's envy of Krishna. And Krishna is organized material nature as such that there is suffering as a result of our trying to enjoy that. So this foolishness is all-pervading in this world. And we try to become devotees, but there is still a part of us in our consciousness that wants to enjoy. This was pointed out by Yudhishthira Maharaj. And all the Pandavas came to this lake, and the Yaksha said, you cannot drink from this lake of Euphoria, you will fall dead. And one Pandava after another came at the lake, they drank and they fell. And then when Yudhishthira Maharaj came, he understood the situation. And the Yaksha said, yes, I will revive your brothers if you can answer my question. And the Yaksha asked so many questions. And one of the questions was, what's the most amazing thing in this world? The most amazing thing, Maharaj Yudhishthira said, is that everyone makes plans in this world for permanent settlement. But you can't stay here permanent. It's only very temporary. Human life is short, very short. And that's the sand castle principle. They are building sand castles, like a child is building a sand castle on the beach, and then the flood comes. The tide changes and the water comes and washes it away, and the child starts to cry and the parents laugh. Yes, that's what everyone tries to do. And this desire for fruitive activities creates a hard knot in the heart. This hard knot is the knot of false ego, makes us identify with this body, and is the cause of all our suffering. And here, the King Satyavrata, he prays to the Supreme Lord, please cut this knot in the heart. And that's one of the functions of the Guru. Guru means heavy. He will cut into the attachments of the disciple. And that is the duty of the Guru. It's not the most pleasant one, but I heard of many of my god brothers how they became purified by being chastised by Bhakti Chara Maharaj, my Guru Maharaj. But this is a blessing. The spiritual master cuts into this knot. But when will we get rid of this knot in the heart? Now Das Thakur, I think, he prays, when will these material desires become insignificant? So, if we go to Bhagavad Gita, there in the second chapter, Arjuna is asking, what are the symptoms of such a liberated souls? How does he walk? How does he talk? What is his mentality? What is his behavior? And Krishna answers, first thing he said, Pachato yato kamam. Give up all these desires for material enjoyment in this world. Because they are manogatam, they are concoction of the mind. We think we are going to enjoy that, but it is an invention of the mind. Because this enjoyment is experienced factually in the mind. Yes, the enjoyment experienced in a dream or as awake. It's the same experience in the mind. That is a mode of nature, gives us this sense of enjoyment. But this sense of enjoyment is factually our enemy. Because one becomes absorbed in duality of happiness and distress. And the materialistic lifestyle is striving for happiness and avoiding distress. And at the end they die, and that's what they did during their lives. Taking care of a body which will be food for worms. But unfortunately, our modern education is promoting sense gratification. So we have, Krishna says, Pariyamatist familie, Prakatim Purusha Para, Prakriti, Viti, Me Param. Prakriti, Viti, Me Param. And then the next verse. Shiva Bhuta Mahabhat Daryate Yeyetam Daryate Charat. So we belong to the higher energy, the spiritual energy, and we try to exploit this material world, which is the lower energy. It is in sense natural, because we are the higher energy, we try to dominate the lower energy. But we forget that also this lower energy is Krishna's energy, it's not our energy. And this energy should be used in Krishna's service. We should not exploit it. But this tendency to exploit, that's the problem. That is the cause of our false ego. We think ourselves the proprietor and the enjoyer. And then we get this heart knot, Hridaya Granthis, the heart knot. And in our modern world, our whole education is directed toward exploitation. You can get a master's in business administration, means you become a master's in exploiting others in a very organized way. And it's a very popular degree, but that's what it is. And modern psychology is based on this misconception. When it feels good, do it. That's the modern philosophy. When it feels good, just do it. When it feels good to eat meat, let me kill thousands of cows as long as it feels good for me. Because this modern demoniac philosophy says, if you don't do it, if you suppress everything, that's bad for your immune system. Your health will not be good. A bad mental health and so on is very demoniac. And it's so prevalent. It starts with Sigmund Freud but there's so many philosophers that, and this is very prevalent today. But this tendency for exploitation is born out of envy from Krishna. And because out of envy of Krishna, Krishna said, you want to be the controller, but there is one problem. I'm the controller, Krishna says. But Krishna says, there is no problem, you want to be the controller, I will fulfill your desire. But the first thing is, you must forget me, otherwise there is no fun. If you see that I'm the controller. That's why everyone in this world has forgotten Krishna. Krishna brings them in illusion through the modes of nature. That it brings them in illusion. And let them try to be the enjoyer. But of course, the result will be only suffering. Because Krishna does not want us to be in this world. This material world, Srila Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Maharaj said, is not a place for gentlemen. So we don't belong here. And the problem is this knot of false desires to enjoy, exploit, take Krishna's position. And therefore Krishna gave us this body. This body, what is this body? This body is the proof that we are envious of Krishna. Otherwise you don't get this body. So nobody here can say that he's not being envious of Krishna. You have all the proof with you that you are envious of Krishna. It's the body. So, self-realization starts with beginning to understand that we are foolish, all foolish to be in this world. I repeat the words of Ujjain Prabhu. Someone asked Ujjain Prabhu, are you self-realized? And Ujjain Prabhu said, yes, I'm self-realized. I realized I'm a complete fool. So without realizing that, you cannot become self-realized. We have to recognize our foolishness and pray to Krishna, I'm a fool, please forgive me. Please engage me in your service again. Let me always remember your lotus feet. I'm now surrendering unto you. That requires a humble attitude. Therefore Lord Chaitanya said, Trinata Pishnitsne Tarora Visaisne Amana Namanadena Kirtanya Sadari. One must be more humble than a store in the street, more tolerant than a tree, devoid of all false prestige, which is born out of false ego. One should give all honor to others and not ask honor for oneself. Because this desire to be honored is also sense gratification, subtle sense gratification. Labdha pratishta, that to get recognition, subtle pride. So Satyavata Maharaj prays, please sever this knot from my heart. So that's is what we should desire. To get free from this contamination of the heart, these anarthas which makes us identify with this body. And when we identify with this body, we experience the body as ourself. And that's the cause of unlimited suffering. That is an uncontrolled mind. An uncontrolled mind is a mind that identifies with the body. One thinks I'm the mind. Therefore, yoga means controlling the mind. But to control the mind, first you must realize that you are not the mind. Because those who say it feels good, let's do it, they think they are the mind. That's me. My likes, my dislikes, that's my personality, they think. It's very dangerous. And everyone thinks like that in this world. So it means everyone is more or less crazy in this world. That Srila Prabhupada was in Calcutta and he had this pharmaceutical business and he had to go to the court for something, small thing, but he had to wait. And another court case was busy. It was a murder case. It was a doctor, and he found out, the doctor, that his assistant had an affair with his wife. So he called in his assistant in the treatment room. He chloroformed him and he cut his body in pieces and put it in carton boxes outside. Then a policeman came and he saw that blood came out of these boxes and he found out. And the judge asked a famous psychiatrist in the court, is this person responsible for his acts? And the psychiatrist said, in my opinion, Your Honor, everyone in this world is more or less crazy. That was his answer. And being crazy, what means crazy? You have an asylum where mad people are living, and someone has a head in that direction and his hand here and is going up and down, thinking himself Napoleon. He's crazy. He thinks that he's someone else. And we all think we are someone else. We all think we are this body. But we are not this body. We are the consciousness in this body. It comes from a spiritual spark. Consciousness comes from the soul. No scientists have ever proven the source of consciousness. And when the consciousness has left the body, or the soul has left the body is dead. And nobody can bring life back in the body. It's not possible. So, it means everyone is more or less made crazy by this material energy, this heart knot. And this heart knot is there because especially it's made stronger by the mode of passion and ignorance. And how to remove this knot? Well, Sutta Goswami in the Bhagavatam start with giving a summary of how to remove this knot. Sushushosha Dadanasya Vastev Gata, which is Yanmat Sivyavipa Punyatirtanishevadat. It starts with hearing about Krishna with great attention and serve the mission of the spiritual master. That's the first thing. Because when you hear about Krishna, what's going to happen? You get to know who Krishna is. And when you know who Krishna is, what happens? You get to know who you are. An insignificant spark of Krishna, part of Krishna. And you start to understand our real identity, our real ego, just by hearing. That's the reason why Krishna says, Shamma karmas medium yome veti tattva tyaktvaram punam charma naitimam etusharana. If you hear my pastimes and understand my transcendental activities, you do not take birth again. Because you realize who you are. You come out of this craziness of identifying with the body. And Krishna purifies your heart gradually of this passion and ignorance. If he sees you are serious in trying to understand who he is, Shimvatas Vagata Krishna Punya Shyamna Kirnari Dhyamtato Yabatni Vidunotis Retsitam. Krishna says, one who becomes attracted to hearing about me, I enter there, I from within his heart remove all the unwanted things, this anartha. Nastabe sabatre su nityam bhagavata sevya bhagavata tamasve bhakti bhavati nastike. One who attends daily the classes of the Srimad Bhagavatam and renders service to the pure devotee. You must do both. After the class, we must do service. Render service to the pure devotee. All that is troublesome to the heart is nearly completely destroyed. Nearly. What does it mean? Nearly. That's explained in the following verse. Tato jastam obhava kamadavasyas tera tera davitam sat sitve sattva prasitati. Right? That the influence of the mode of passion and ignorance are hardly removed, and one comes to goodness. But goodness is also contamination. That's not yet Suddha Sattva, it's Sattva. So nearly. But one in goodness comes very close. Very close. Because evam pranashamanasa bhagavat bhaktiyoda bhagavat tattva vijnanam mukta sanghasya jayate. Then one becomes peaceful. One has understood I am not this body. The craziness is gone. One in goodness is a normal person. He's called a Brahman. He has understood. And by the process of devotional service, you come to that stage and go beyond it. You go beyond it. So Brahman means by qualification. That it's not being taking birth in a Brahman family. May be helpful. May be helpful. We don't condemn that. A good chance to become a Brahman. But the power of bhakti is so strong, it doesn't matter from where you come. That evam panchamak bhagavat bhakti yogadha. Then you come to the point of pure devotional service. serving Krishna without material desire. We come to our normal activity. And like the impersonalists, they never come to the normal activity. It's like someone goes into the hospital and he gets cured, but he doesn't leave the hospital. He keeps hanging around. But no, after being cured, you must go to your normal activities, go to work and so on. So we must go to the normal activity of the soul. And the normal activity of the soul, our real ego, is we serve Krishna. And by serving Krishna with love, you become connected. You become connected. That's yoga. You become connected with Krishna. And Krishna is Bhakti Ras, the source of all spiritual happiness. And then you feel that happiness in the soul. And that is a happiness which is far, far beyond even the happiness of Brahman realization. And that, so Bhagavat Bhakti Yoga, Bhagavat Tattva Vijnanam. Then you can understand things as they are. That only when you are liberated you can understand really. You get the realization. Mukta Sangasya Jayasti. Then liberation is a byproduct of devotional service. And for devotees it's not important. That Bilvamangal Thakur prays that yes, liberation will stand at my door to serve me. And when we come to that point, Sutta Goswami said, yeah, Vidyate Ritaye Shantis, Samsaya, there is a word that I'm missing. Pandit, what is the word I'm missing? Vidyate Ritaye Shantis, Chintante Sarva Samsaya. Yeah, Chintante means cut all doubts. Sayanta Sarva Karmani, then all karma, the chain of karma stopped. All your karma gone. Dristva evat maneshvari. And then one can see one's own self and the Supreme Self, both. Then we see things as they are. That's our normal position. That Srila Prabhupada was walking in a park, morning walk somewhere in America, and he came at it had frozen during the night, and there was some water which was frozen, and with his cane he was breaking the water. And Tamal Krishna Maharaj said, well, Prabhupada, what are you doing? And he continued breaking the water, breaking the ice. And he said, this ice, this is not the normal condition of water. So our present condition is not our normal condition. It's our foolish condition, said the Bhagavatam says. So we should stop being fools and stop us acting fools and become normal. Everyone is crazy in this world. The only normal persons are devotees. They see things as they are. And they become fearless. So these are great lessons to be learned. In the purport it said, avidya. We don't know who we are because of ignorance. But the desire must be there for purification. In the 16th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna starts with giving the divine qualities. Divine qualities. Yeah. So there. That's the first word is Abhaya, Advaya, Sattva, Samsudir, Jnana, Yoga, Vyavastiti. Abhaya means fearless. Abhaya. Sattva, Samsudir means desire for purification. We must develop this desire for purification. We must want to become purified. Yes. Hare Krishna. So, that's very important to develop this desire for purification. That a devotee acts always for his purification. If we perform devotional service in a mood, and that is important to learn today, this is important. What do we take away from this today? We have here King Satyavrata, he prays, take away these false desires. That means he prays for purification. Abhaya Sattva Samsudir. Purification of one's existence. So we must desire to become purified. I have these material desires, okay. But I want to get rid of it. You must want to get rid of it. And pray to the Supreme Lord. Please take it away. Om Namo Bhagavate Narasingaya Namaste Asya Virbhava Vachana Kavachdam Sikamashyam Randai Tamogasa Sabhayam Abhayamatmani Bhuyusta Om Sham. Prahlad Maharaj in the 5th canto prays to Lord Nrsimhadev. Oh Lord Nrsimhadev, you have these sharp nails. With these sharp nails, which are like chisels, you please conduct the operation. Go into my heart and take away all these material desires. So that's important. We must want it. If you don't want it, Krishna will not take them away. You must want to give them up. And that requires courage. Sometimes you see the word, yes, I want to surrender, but not right now. I still want to do this or that. No, you must be willing to give it up, willing to conduct the operation and become purified. So that is that's the second thing to remember. The first thing to remember is we are fools, and we must stop being foolish and get out of it. Stop this identification with the body. Thank you very much. Any questions? Yes?
Thank you so much for such a wonderful there is an online question. It says, thank you so much, Maharaj, for giving important lesson. How can I stay determined? Means usually I end up forgetting my real constitutional position.
Well, repeat the last. How can I be determined for what?
I usually forget my real constitutional position.
Yeah, okay. That we should be determined to always think of Krishna. If you think of Krishna, then you won't forget. Therefore the scriptures say, always think of Krishna and never forget him. These are the most important instructions. And we should be determined to always think of Krishna. And Srila Prabhupada gave us arrangements to think of Krishna. He gave us the chanting of the holy name. He gave us the deity worship. He gave us his books to read. He gave us service to cook for Krishna, to worship the deity, to distribute his books, to distribute prasadam, to preach in so many ways. He gave us all opportunities to think of Krishna. Now it's up to us. Do we take this mercy or not? It's up to us. That determination will come when we understand our foolishness. That if we try to enjoy, we are just causing suffering. So it's up to us that if you think you want to do something else, Krishna says, all right, I'm Kala, time, take your time. But best to take the direct path, like Prahlad Maharaj said. Kamara Achret Pachur Bhagavan Bhagavam, ja, dus Kamara Achret Pachur Bhagavam Dharmadam, ja, Tulvam Manusham Chanmyam Tat Yadruvam Artadam. Now you have got this human form of life. Don't waste time. From an age of 5 years old, the Kamara age, perform this Bhagavad Dharma and make your life successful. Hare Krishna. Is that okay? Good. Anything else? Good. Thank you very much. Shantra Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki